Hello friends, welcome back, and if you're new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today I have a 12 row knitting pattern to share with you. Stitches have to be taken in the multiple of 7 plus 3, so I have taken 7 into 3 is 21 plus 3, 24 stitches, and have worked 2 rows of knit. Starting off with the first row, the edge stitch is slipped off, yarn forward a purl, yarn backwards, 6th number of knit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 6th one. So this is the edge stitch. After that a purl and then 6 knit. So let's repeat: a purl, 6th number of knit. 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now let's repeat again: yarn forward a purl, yarn backwards, 6th number of knit. This is the first row of the pattern. Finally, 2 stitches left. One is going to be purl to balance the pattern, and the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the first row ends here. Moving on to the second row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off, yarn backwards a knit, yarn forward, 6th number of purl. And the best thing to work our wrong side is to knit the V stitches and to purl the curly stitches. That will be better instead of remembering the number of knit and the purl. So that's a V stitch, it's going to be knit, yarn forward. These are the curly stitches, 6th number of curly stitches, so it's going to be purl. Yes, see, that's a V stitch. Pull your work to see what stitch it is. So it's a knit, yarn forward, 6th number of curly stitches, so those are going to be purl. Now finally 2 stitches left, that's a V stitch, so it's going to be knit to balance the pattern, yarn forward, the edge stitch is going to be a purl. So the second row ends here. Moving on to the third row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, 5 number of knit. This is the third row of the pattern. This is how it goes. Now let's repeat the pattern again. That's the first set, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 5 number of knit. This is the second set of the pattern. Yarn forward, the final set, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 5 number of knit. Yes, now 2 stitches left, yarn forward, 1 is going to be purl, yarn backwards, the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the third row ends here. Now let us move on to the fourth row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. As I told you, the V stitches we are going to knit, so 2 number of V stitches there, sorry, 1 number of V stitch there, and these are the curly stitches. The curly stitches are going to be purl, 1, 2, that's curly stitch, this is again a curly stitch or purl. Now these are the V stitches, 3 in number, 1, 2, sorry, 2 in number. These are again the curly stitches. So the best thing to do is pull our work to identify the stitches. That's the V stitch, again a V stitch, yarn forward. These are the curly stitches which are supposed to be purl. So this is how it is to be done. That's a V stitch, so it's a knit, again a V stitch, a knit, the edge stitch is going to be a purl. So the fourth row ends here. Moving on to the fifth row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off, yarn forward, 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, yarn backwards, 4 number of knit. This is the fifth row of the pattern. yarn forward. Let's repeat 3 number of purl, 1, 2 and 3, yarn backwards, 4 number of knit. Let's repeat, yarn forward 3 number of purl, yarn backwards, 4 number of knit. Yes, finally 2 stitches left. One is going to be purl to balance the pattern and the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the 5th row ends here. Moving on to the 6th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. Now the V stitches are going to be knit. So let's do that. Yarn forward. These are the curly stitches which are going to be purl. Now those are the V stitches again, 3 in number because one has just formed, 1, 2 and 3 number of knit. Yarn forward. These are the curly stitches, 1, 2, 3 and 4 in number. So it's going to be 4 number of purl. Yarn backwards, V stitches, so 3 in number, 3 number of knit. Yes. Yarn forward, 1, 2, 3, 4 number of purl. 2, that's 3 and 4. Yarn backwards, 1, 2, 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. Yarn forward, the edge stitch is going to be a purl. So the 6th row ends here. Moving on to the 7th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. Yarn forward, 4 number of purl, 1, 2, that's 3 and 4. Yarn backwards, 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. Yarn forward, 4 number of purl, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn backwards, 3 number of knit. This is the 7th row of the pattern. Yarn forward, 4 number of purl, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn backwards, 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. Finally 2 stitches left. One is going to be purl to balance the pattern. The edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the 7th row ends here. Now let us move on to the 8th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. Yarn backwards. Now we are going to knit the V stitches and purl the curly stitches. So those are the curly stitches. It's going to be purl, 2, 3. Now these are the V stitches, 1, 2, 3 and 4 in number. That has just formed a knit, another knit, that's the 3rd, and this is the 4th one. Again, yarn forward, the 2nd set pattern. These are the curly stitches, so it's going to be purl. These are the V stitches, it is going to be knit. So in the wrong side, we are just going to pull our work slightly to see whether it's a curly stitch or a V stitch. That is going to make our work much easier. These are the V stitches, see. Another V stitch, this is another one. 2 stitches left, one is going to be knit to balance the pattern. The edge stitch is going to be a purl. So the 8th row ends here. This is how our pattern is looking right now. Moving on to the 9th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. Yarn forward, 5 number of purl. And then 2 number of knit. This is the 9th row of the pattern. That's the first set of pattern. Let's repeat, 5 number of purl. That's 3, 4 and 5. Yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, 1 and 2. Yarn forward, 5 number of purl, 1, 2, that's 3, 4 and 5. Yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, 1 and 2. Finally 2 stitches left. One is going to be purl to balance the pattern and the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the 9th row ends here. Moving on to the 10th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off, yarn backwards. Now, as usual, the V stitches are going to be knit and the curly stitches are going to be purl. So I just saw 2 number of curly stitches. Now these are the V stitches, so it's going to be knit again. Now again curly stitch, so it's going to be a purl. Now those are the V stitches. Let's pull our work that's just formed, the first one, V stitch. So the V stitches are going to be knit. Now these are the curly stitches, so it's going to be purl. Yarn backwards. These are the V stitches, so let's work knit. This is how we are going to remember. Finally, that's a V stitch, so it's going to be knit. The edge stitch is going to be a purl. So the 10th row ends here. This is how our pattern is looking right now. It's a beautiful pattern, perfect for men's cardigan. Now let's work the 11th row. The edge stitch is slipped off, yarn forward, 6th number of purl. Yarn backwards, knit. So our first set of pattern is done. Let's repeat. 6th number of purl, 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, 6th number of purl. Yarn backwards, a knit. Finally, 2 stitches left, yarn forward. To balance the pattern, it's going to be a purl. The edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the 11th row ends here. Moving on to the 12th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off, yarn backwards. The V stitches are going to be knit and the curly stitches are going to be purl. Now those are the V stitches. So let's work a knit. Yes, now let's pull our work. That's the curly stitch, it's a purl. Yarn backwards, let's pull our work. These are all the V stitches, so it is going to be knit. If you work this way, we don't have to remember how many V and how many knit and how many purl. So that will make our work much easier. See, that's a V stitch which has just formed. That is why I'm telling you we need to pull our work to identify the stitches. And the edge stitch is going to be a purl. So the 12th row ends here. After completing the 12 rows of the pattern, this is how our first set of pattern looks. It's a beautiful pattern, easy to remember. And I have shown the pattern minutely so that it becomes easy for all to follow. This is how it looks. So thank you my dear friends for staying till the end. If you all have found the video useful, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members, and if you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it's bye bye for today. Bye.